On behalf of the Taluka Tahsil Legal Service Committee, I am honored to extend our heartfelt gratitude to everyone who has contributed to the success of today's event on legal awareness on female suicide. First and foremost, I would like to express our deep appreciation to the Vice Principal Mohtarma Nigar Ma'am, Government Girls High Secondary School Sopore, for graciously offering us the use of this wonderful auditorium. Your support and cooperation has been instrumental in making this event possible. Thank you for your commitment to promote important social issues and for providing us an excellent venue. Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to thank the dedicated staff members of Government Girls High Secondary School Sopore for their tireless efforts in supporting today's event. I am going to name and thank these dedicated staff members: Lecturer Mohtarma Sadia, Lecturer Mohtarma Nilofer Ma'am, Lecturer Mr. Ashraf Sir, Lecturer Mr. Hussain Azhar Sir, media person
Hassan Azhar sir.
Hassan Azhar sir,
media
person Mr. Firdaus sir, teacher Mr. Nasir Mohdi sir, teacher Dr. Busia Mehraj ma'am, and all other wonderful personalities. Our sincere thanks also goes to the esteemed doctors of Sub-District Hospital Sopore and going to name Community Health Officer Mr. Farooq sir, Dr. Nusrat, gynecologist, for giving their valuable time and enriched our understanding, but have also inspired us to take meaningful actions towards combating female suicide. Your commitment to this cause is truly inspiring, and we are deeply appreciative of your participation.
Thank you.
I would also like to thank my colleagues, my members, the clerks, paralegal, volunteer, advocate Kiran Farooq ma'am for sharing their valuable thoughts on this important social issue. Finally, I would like to extend our gratitude to all the attendees for your presence, students for their active participation. Your support and engagement are crucial in spreading awareness and fostering a community that stands against female suicide. Once again, thank you all for making this event a success. Let's continue to work together towards creating a society where girl child is valued and given the opportunity to thrive. Thank you. Have a nice day.
Thank you, sir. You mean
thank you very much, Advocate Umar Bashir साहब. मैं आप सबका तहे दिल से शुक्रगुजार हूँ, ख़ुसूसन इन तालिबात का जिन्होंने इस जुलूसी गर्मी में सब्र से काम लिया. और
This is the picture of the Tahsil Legal Services. This is the front of it. I have given you a hypothesis. For an example, there is a person, he doesn't have a money, but how will he access to justice in the court of law? What he will do? He can go to the Taluka in Tahsil. We are living in Tahsil Sopore. We can approach the authority that's in court, Tahsil Legal Services Committee. There are the paralegal volunteers. The CGM sir is the chairperson designated under the act, who is the Mr. Bani sir. He is the chairman, and other paralegal volunteers or the persons who will help that beneficiaries who want access to justice, who want to contest a case. These legal service committees as well as authorities at High Court and Supreme Court, they will give lawyer to that person who doesn't have money to get access to justice in the court of law or in tribunals or in other institutions as well. So kindly go through these are the entitled beneficiaries. Now you may be under the suspense, who are the persons who are entitled for these legal services? Section 12 provides the list of the beneficiaries. These are the beneficiaries. For example, if we have approached to the Supreme Court of India, what is the income ceiling of the person who can contest, who can be given free lawyer to contest on that before. In Supreme Court, the current income limit is 5 lakh rupees. A person whose family income rests within this ceiling, he can go to the Supreme Court Legal Service Committee. They can give him the lawyer and they can seek justice here. In our High Court, there is income ceiling of 3 lakh rupees. These are the other beneficiaries: member of scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, women, child, victims of beggar, victims of mass disaster, disabled persons, persons in custody, industrial workmen, transgenders, senior citizens, persons suffering from HIV/AIDS. These are the entitled beneficiaries who are given free legal aid under the Act. So, thank you. What are the provides of legal aid? Legal aid, firstly, a free lawyer is given to that person who falls under the entitled beneficiaries. Certified copies, printing, everything, legal methods, mediation, conciliation, everything is done on behalf of that person by the legal service authorities. What is the purpose we are here? The purpose is the awareness. You should be aware about their rights. For example, as Forksar has rightly said, that women are entitled beneficiaries of the legal aid irrespective of their income. If a girl is domestically abused, she is symbolically abused, she can approach to the legal services, she can knock the doors of the judiciary, she can seek justice. Similarly, other beneficiaries that have been entitled in section 12. So the purpose of this program, why we are gathering here, the purpose is to aware you people about your rights, about the current topic which we have discussed here, female feticide. There are n number of schemes government of India has prescribed, but this menace is still going on. Who are responsible? We are responsible, because it is we people who have to think about it. Gobur agar nur chu Nuristan. So, in our constitution, Nuristan. We have under the aegis of the Constitution of India, we have a directive, Article 39A. You must all read about this article. मैं सबको ये इंतज़ार करना चाहता हूँ कि please go through this directive. This is the free legal aid, equal justice for all. It is the directive under the DPSP, Direct Principles of the State Policy. It is the Constitution is imposing directive on every state to protect the rights of the persons who are very poor. 39A, in order to enhance other statutory provisions, these awareness programs are being conducted in various districts and in various taluks to aware you about their rights. This is a female feticide where already most of the provisions, most of the discussions, deliberations have been given through what feticide is. As you know, female feticide, the killing of a fetus in the mother's womb. So please go through another slide. This is the NCRB data. I have put here the NCRB data. Actually, the current data is National Crime Records Bureau. यम साथ का crime गसान से उसकी जो statistics होती है, कितना हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, इसके लिए एक governmental agency है, उसका नाम है National Crime Records Bureau, that works under the aegis of the Ministry of Home Affairs. NCRB में वो NCRB is giving per year the statistics, what are the crime rates happening in India and in different states in India. ये जो डाटा है ये दिखा रहा है कि फीमेल feticide जो है 1634 cases in 2020 and 1529 cases in 2021, 1239 cases in 2022. It is the latest data of National Crime Records Bureau. As per this data, there has not been significant decline in the female feticide cases. Problem क्या है? We are responsible because we have to change our thinking about the girl child. तभी ये बंद होगा. वरना schemes, laws, इसमें बहुत कुछ है. लेकिन जब तक ना हम खुद یہ مانیں گے کہ girls are equal, they are at par with the man. تب تک یہ چلتا رہے گا. No law will change the world unless we change our mind. This is the sentence of the judiciary. What Supreme Court has to say about the female feticide. Supreme Court has said that imbalance of sex ratio, issue of necessary directions for the effective implementation of provisions. Search engines were directed to remove the scrupulous directions. Google India, Yahoo and Microsoft to cooperate and give their point of view for the purpose of suspect distribution. سپریم کورٹ نے اس ججمنٹ میں یہ کہا کہ جو یہ انجنز ہے، سرچ انجنز ہے، مائکروسافٹ ہے، گوگل ہے، ہاؤ وی ول کوپ ود دس میٹر، ہم کیسے یہ مینس جو ہے سوشل مینس ہے یہ ڈکریز کر سکیں. تو اٹ از دا لیٹسٹ ججمنٹ آن سپریم کورٹ. سر گرل یہ آئی ایم گوئنگ ٹو اینڈ ود دس کوٹ. گرلس بیکم ہیئر ہو ول پرووائڈ us the best care. یہ کوشچن ہے آپ کے لیے. So, sir, please go to the next slide. Thank you very much.
اپنے گھروں سے ہم نے ابتدا کرنا ہے. ہم نے اس چیز کو اویئرنیس میں بدلنا ہے، لوگوں تک یہ بات پہنچانی ہے کہ یہاں کچھ ایکٹس بھی ہے جو ہم اپلائی کر سکتے ہیں، چاہے ہمارے پیرنٹس ہو، چاہے ہماری والدہ ہو، چاہے والد صاحب ہو. ہم سب کے لیے یہ ایک ذمہ داری بنتی ہے کہ ہم اپنی سوسائٹی کو ہیلدی، ویلدی اینڈ وائز کیسے بنائیں گے. تو اس چیز کو ہم نے منتخب کرنا ہے، بٹ ایٹ آور اون کاسٹ. ہم کسی پہ بھی بلیم نہیں کر سکتے ہیں. آلموسٹ جو کنسپٹ یہاں پہ ہے ایئرز بیک، اگر ایس مینز سیدھا، ایس مینز یہ ایسے اپنے ہاتھ صاف کیجیے، کیجیے سبھی. آپ اپنے ہینڈ ریز کیجیے اور ایسے کیجیے، ٹھیک ہے. ایس مینز سیدھا. اس کے بعد یو مینز الٹا، ایسے، ٹھیک ہے. اس کے بعد ایم مینز مٹھی، ایسے مٹھی. سبھی کیجیے، سبھی کیجیے مٹھی. اس کے بعد کیا ہے؟ اے مینز انگوٹھا، انگوٹھا. اپنے انگوٹھے کو بھی صاف کرنا ہے. اس لیے سرجیکل پروسیجر میں بھی یہ لگتا ہے ضرورت. ڈاکٹر صاحب زیادہ جانتی ہیں کیونکہ اس میں 12 سٹیپس بھی ہے، کہیں پہ 7-8 سٹیپس بھی لگے ہیں. میں آپ سے وہی کہہ رہا ہوں جو آپ یوزلی یوز کر سکتے ہو اپنے گھر میں بھی، ٹھیک ہے. سیدھا، الٹا، مٹھی، انگوٹھا. اس کے بعد این ہو گئے نیلز، آپ کے نیلز ایسے، ٹھیک ہے. اس کے بعد وہ ہو گئی کلائی، وہ ہو گئی کلائی. تو ابھی یاد رکھنا آپ نے، سیدھا، الٹا، مٹھی، انگوٹھا، نیلز اینڈ کلائی. تھینک یو ویری مچ.
ان کی رائے اس موضوع کے حوالے سے جاننے کی کوشش کریں گے. اس کے بعد انشاءاللہ یہاں پہ ایڈوکیٹ عمر بشیر صاحب
فی الکلام المجید والفرقان الحمید وَإِذَا بُشِّرَ أَحَدُهُم بِالْأُنثىٰ ظَلَّ وَجْهُهُ مُسْوَدًّا وَهُوَ كَظِيمٌ. اردو ہے اس کا. جب ان میں سے کسی کو بیٹی کے پیدا ہونے کی خوشخبری دی جاتی ہے تو اس کے چہرے پر کلونس چھا جاتی ہے اور وہ بس خون کا گھونٹ پی کر رہ جاتا ہے. Whenever one of them is given the good news of a baby girl, his face grows gloomy as he suppresses his rage. ایک اور آیت کریمہ میں سورہ نحل آیت نمبر 59 سوئی ما بشرا بہی ایمسکہ علی خون ام یدسہ فی التراب علی ساء ما یحکمون. لوگوں سے چھپتا پھرتا ہے کہ اس بری خبر کے بعد کسی کو منہ دکھائے، سوچتا ہے کہ ذلت کے ساتھ بیٹی کو لیے رہے یا مٹی میں دبائے. دیکھو کیا برا حکم وہ اللہ تعالیٰ کے بارے میں لگا رہتے ہیں. He hides himself from the people because of the ill of which he has been informed. Should he keep it in humiliation or bury it in the ground unquestionably. Evil is what they decide. Today, I am going to deliver on female feticide in India. Here are a jury of guests, and because of the time gap, I will come to the topic. It is the abortion of a female fetus outside of legal methods. A research by Pew Research Center based on the Union government data indicates feticide at least 9 million females in the year 2000, as has been said, 2000 up to 2019. The research found that 86.7% of these feticides were by Hindus, which constitute the 80% of the Indian population, followed by Sikhs, which constitute 1.7% of the whole population with 4.9%, and then Muslims, which constitute the 14% of Indian population, and they have Sikhs have 4.9% of, and Muslims have 6.67%. The research also indicated an overall decline in performance preference for sons in time period. The natural sex ratio is assumed to be between 103 and 107 males per 100 females, and any number above is considered suggestive for female feticide. According to decennial Indian census, the sex ratio in 0 to 6 age group in India has risen from 102.4% males per 100 females in 1961 to 104.2 in 1980 to 107.5 in 2001 of sex selective stopping practices. That is stopping having children based on sex of those born. Determine sex and then eliminate the desired ones. Also, census suggests that there is a positive correlation between normal sex ratio and better socio-economic status and literacy. This may be connected to dowry system in India, where dowry deaths occur when a girl is seen as a financial burden, as has been discussed. Urban India has higher child ratio than rural India. Urban to rural. According to 1991, 2001 and 2011 census data implying higher prevalence of female feticide in urban India. Similarly, sex ratio greater than 115 boys per 100 girls is found in regions where predominantly majority is Hindus. Furthermore, normal child ratio of 104 to 106 per 100 are found in regions 106 per 100 are found in regions where the majority is of Muslims. Sikh or Christian. 100 to 104 and 106. These data suggest that sex ratio is a practice which takes place among some educated receptionists or a particular religion means Hindu, Muslim, Isai, etc. of the Indian society. There is an ongoing debate as to whether these high sex ratios are only caused by female feticide or some of the higher ratio is explained by natural causes. The Indian
Thank you very much, Mr. Mohammad Ashraf Mir, lecturer. جو کہ یہاں پہ ایک اور اسپیکر بھی تھے ہمارے ہونہار اور ڈیڈیکیٹڈ ٹیچر مسٹر ناصر مودین، لیکن میں ان کے سبق کی داد دے رہا ہوں. انہوں نے جو اپنا ان کو ٹاپک تھا انہوں نے معذرت چاہی، انہوں نے کہا کہ کافی گرمی ہے اس آڈیٹوریم میں، لہٰذا میں ارم فاروق کا اس مفصل اور مدلل تقریر کے لیے میں اس کے بعد مزاج کروں گا ڈاکٹر نصرت حفیظ صاحبہ سے، کیونکہ انہیں کہیں پہ انگیجمنٹ ہے، کہیں پہ جانا ہے، لہٰذا میں ان سے ملتمس ہوں کہ وہ اس موضوع کے حوالے سے اپنے ذہنی خیالات کا اظہار فرمائیں گی. ڈاکٹر نصرت حفیظ صاحبہ.
Myself, Dr. Nusrat Hafiz, I will discuss some medical legal aspects of female feticide. So, these are a list of crimes that are being committed against women on a daily basis in our society, such as rape, domestic violence, sexual assault, dowry death, acid attack, human trafficking, female genital mutilation, honor killings, early marriages, and the list continues to go on. Today we are discussing the menace of female feticide. What is it? In its simplest form, it can be defined as aborting a female fetus, that is killing a female fetus after the sex determination test. So female feticide is the abortion of a female fetus outside of legal methods. Few statistics put forward by the Union Government of India based on peer research indicates that female feticide of at least there has been a female feticide of around 9 million babies in the years 2000 to 2019, which is an alarming number. The child sex ratio, as already discussed, has dropped from 945 females per 1000 males in 1991 to 927 females per 1000 males in 2001. There is an estimation of about 50 million girls are missing from India's population because of issue of female feticide. And India ranks one of the highest nations in the world when it comes to the menace of this female feticide. The census of 2011 has recorded the lowest ever sex ratio of 914 in the age group of 0 to 6 years, with 3 million missing girls from 78.8 million in 2001 to 75.8 million in 2011. What are the main reasons behind it? The main reason is obsession for a male child. जब तक बेटा नहीं है तब तक family complete नहीं. And PMDT Act. It came into force in 1994. It's an act of the Parliament of India that was enacted to stop female feticides and arrest the declining sex ratio in India. This act basically focuses on banning the prenatal sex determination. The main objective of enacting the act is to ban the use of sex selective techniques before. Before कैसे होता है कि जब IVF pregnancies होती है, the doctor already knows कि what kind of embryo it's implanting inside the female uterus. So that is preconceptional. And prevent the misuse of prenatal diagnostic techniques for sex selective abortions. It regulates the use of prenatal diagnostic techniques like ultrasound machine by allowing them their use only to detect genetic abnormalities, metabolic disorders, chromosomal abnormalities, and certain congenital malformations, hemoglobinopathies, and sex-linked disorders. No laboratory or no center or clinic is allowed to conduct any test, including the ultrasonography, for the purpose of determining the sex of the fetus. No person, including the one who is conducting the procedure.
Thanks, Dr. Nusrat Hafiz Sahiba, simply the great lecture. जिन्होंने हमें ये समझाया अबाउट फीमेल फीटिसाइड और इसका सैलबा भी बताया और उन्होंने मेडिकल टर्मिनोलॉजी का यूज़ की और हमें भी काफ़ी मदद मिली समझने में. हम एक बार फिर इनके लिए आप एक जोरदार तालियां बजाएंगी. अब मैं एक और होनहार बेटी मोमिना मोहिदीन से मुतमिन हूँ कि लोग अपने ज़हनी ख़यालात का इज़हार फरमाएंगी. इस शेर के साथ वजूद ज़न से है तस्वीर कायनात में रंग, वजूद ज़न से है तस्वीर कायनात में रंग, इसी के साथ से है ज़िंदगी का सोज़े धुरूं. मोइना मोहद्दीन.
मुअज़्ज़ज़ सामीन, बेमियानो ताफ़ो अज़ीज़ो, अस्सलामु अलैकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू. बह छस मोमिना मोहिउद्दीन परा. आज छस बह तह ब्रोह कन पन के ख्यालात. वक्त ओस गुलाबस तो फलित आव रछुन दाग. वक्त ओस गुलाबस तो फलित आव रछुन दाग. अफसोस सुकुल यस मुलै द्राज़न नुकसान. दोस्तों, माज हंद शिकमस मज कोर मारनु खतरनाक जुर्म पोज दिलस बेकरारी गसान तो दिमाग जन ते कमे करान. आखिर कम वजूहात कोर मारनस पे मजबूर करान. पानस अंद पे नजर त्रेवित टाकार जि सोन समाज दो को दो तिथन अतरन तो जुर्मन मस हन यवान येत न मकलनिच का बात ही छ. माज हंद शिकमस मज कोर मारनु किसी मसलो छ. ات پہ ایسی کت سیتس تھاون زِ یہ سوری صورت حال چھ تمن کینٛہہ چیٖزن ہُنٛد نتیجہٕ یِم سٲنِس سماجس ولنہٕ چھِ آمٕتۍ. زیادٕ کھۄتہٕ زیادٕ مٲلی ضروٗرت ہاو تہٕ تھٮ۪ک تھٮ۪ک ساد زندگی رخصت سماجس
خطا تور مٲلِس ماجہِ ہٕنٛز رونق خبر. یاد ژٕے تھاوکھ یہِ میٛٲنی کتھ خطا کوٗر مٲلِس ماجہِ ہٕنٛز رونق خبر. کورِ ہٕنٛدۍ قسمت کھٮ۪وان گرٕ وٲلۍ بوز. کورِ ہٕنٛدۍ قسمت کھٮ۪وان گرٕ وٲلۍ بوز. کوٗر مٲلِس ماجہِ کیُتھ چھے بٔڑ سطح. یہِ ٲس مومنہ موہدیٖن یُس کٲشِر پٲٹھۍ پنٛنٮ۪ن ذٔری خیالاتن ہُنٛد اِظہار ٲس کران. چونکہ being the head of this mission, انہیں یہاں پہ ٹھہرنا تھا, ہمارا ساتھ دینا تھا, ہمیں سننا تھا. بٹ having other engagements of school, she cannot stay with us. یہ مجبوری کے تحت میں انہیں یہاں پہ مدعو کرنا چاہوں گا. ادارہ حاضر کی وائس پرنسپل محترمہ نگہت نذیر صاحبہ آج کے پروگرام کو سمیٹتے ہوئے وہ اپنے خیالات کا اظہار فرمائیں گی, اور جو گیسٹس ہے ان کا شکریہ بھی ادا کریں گی کہ انہوں نے ہمارے ادارے کو چنا. اس موضوع کے حوالے سے یہ بہت ہی حساس, میں نے اس سے پہلے ہی کہا کہ بہت ہی حساس موضوع ہے, جس پر بولنے کی, قلم اٹھانے کی, نیز احتجاج کرنے کی بھی ضرورت ہے. وائس پرنسپل نگہت نذیر صاحب.
Members and my dear students. First of all, I'm highly thankful to Chairman Tehsil Legal Services Committee Sopore for organizing such enlightening topics on such sensitive issues that are prevailing in our society. So far as this topic is concerned, much had been said by students, by our esteemed guests, by Dr. Garcia. So the thing that I would like to put, and what I just found, as is well put by Dr. Garcia, that we have normalized some abnormal things. And the environment of this auditorium, and just forgetting what we have just said over here, I hope that we will just put it in practice. We will just take an oath that as an educationist, as a doctor, as a legal authorities, we will try to put an end to this injustice and violence in literal sense. I hope that you all are with me, Dr. Saiba, Advocate Saiba, and all the teachers. We togetherly can do it. And thank you so much. Thank you for being here.
اور ہم بہت زیادہ اور کچھ زیادہ ہم اس موضوع کے حوالے سے جاننے کی کوشش کریں گے. ڈاکٹر فاروق.
کمیونٹی ہیلتھ آفیسر, ناٹ اے ڈاکٹر. سو میرا کام ہے کہ سوسائٹی میں ویجیلنٹ رہنا کہ کون سا کیس کس حد تک جا رہا ہے. سو فار ایز دی ٹاپک از کنسرن فیمیل فیٹسائڈ, اس چیز پہ بہت زیادہ ڈسکس ہوا ہے. تو سبھی ٹیچرس اور سبھی مطلب چاہے ڈاکٹر ہو, چاہے ہمارے لیگل سائڈ کی ونگ ہو, ان سب نے اس بارے میں بات کی. تو یہ ہم نے انڈرسٹینڈ بھی کیا کہ
Community Health Officer Farooq sir rightly said that women have a legal aid. What legal aid actually means? Legal aid means it is a lawyer given to a person who is underprivileged, who is in need to contest his case before a court of law, but he doesn't have money in hand. What he will do? For that purpose, he can take rescue to the legal aid. Actually, legal aid is a machinery under the National Legal Services Authorities Act, which is for the persons who are underprivileged, destitute, who doesn't have a money, who belongs to the BPL category, but they want access to the court. Who came to the rescue to that person? That's the legal aid. Actually, the legal aid is managed under the National Legal Services Authorities Act 1987. As I have quoted, you can see on the presentation, Justice Bhagwati, he was the pioneer of the legal aid. He has rightly said that legal aid means providing an arrangement in the society so that the legal machinery of administration of justice becomes accessible to. Please go to the first slide, sir. Sir, please take me back to first slide. Nothing rankless more in the human heart than the feeling of injustice. कुछ भी दिल पे नहीं चुभता है अगर हम नाइंसाफी देखें. So for that purpose, we have a legal aid concept. Sir, please take me to another slide. Dear students, let me take you to the administrative machinery of the legal aid. How legal aid works, I will briefly tell you. In the talukas, in the districts, in the Supreme Court and the High Court level, legal aid machinery is set up at 4 levels. Who has contributed to the success of today's event on legal awareness on female fiicide? First and foremost, I would like to express our deep appreciation to the Vice Principal Mohtarma Nigat Ma'am, Government Girls Higher Secondary School Sopore, for graciously offering us the use of this wonderful auditorium. Your support and cooperation has been instrumental in making this event possible. Thank you for your commitment to promote important social issues and for providing us an excellent venue. Thank you, ma'am. I would also like to thank the dedicated staff members of Government Girls High Secondary School Sopore for their tireless efforts in supporting today's event. I am going to name and thank these dedicated staff members: Lecturer Mohtarma Sabia, Lecturer Mohtarma Nilofer Ma'am, Lecturer Mr. Ashraf Sir, Lecturer Mr. Hussain Azhar Sir, media person Hassan Azhar Sir, media person Mr. Firdaus Sir, teacher Mr. Nasir Mohideen Sir, teacher Dr. Ghusia Mehraj Ma'am, and all other wonderful personalities. Our sincere thanks also goes to the esteemed doctors of Sub-District Hospital Sopore.
ज़माना भी गवाह है बेटी, मैं तो क्या पूरा ज़माना भी गवाह है बेटी, आज तक जुल्म तेरे साथ हुआ है बेटी, मैं तो क्या पूरा ज़माना गवाह है बेटी, आज तक जुल्म तेरे साथ हुआ है बेटी, या जलाया है तुझे या तू दफन कर डाला, या जलाया है तुझे या तू दफन कर डाला, आज तक तूने यहाँ क्या क्या सहा है बेटी, तेरी बरकत से ही जन्नत भी मिलेगी हमको, तेरे सदके ही हम पे करम हुआ है सारे, तेरी खातिर ही जमा आज हुए हैं सारे, एहतिजाज मेरे कलम ने भी किया है बेटी। अस्सलाम वालेकुम। जिंदा दफन किया जाता है, वो जन्म लेती थी, लेकिन फिर उनका कसूर ये था कि वो लड़कियां थी और उन्हें जिंदा दरगोर किया जाता था। आज ये भी ज़माना है, उनके साथ जो जुल्म है वही है, लेकिन तरीका बदल गया है। आज हद से ज़्यादा शुक्रगुजार एहसानमंद हूँ कि इस हसास मौजू की तरफ उन्होंने तवज्जो मरकूज़ की है اور یہ ان کی ہم پہ مہربانی ہے کہ انہوں نے ہمارے ہی ادارے کو چنا ہے. اس موضوع کے حوالے سے ہماری رائے جاننے کے لیے اور اس موضوع کے استدعا کر رہا ہوں کہ وہ یہاں پہ آئے گی, اس محفل کو تلاوتی کلام باغ سے منور کریں گی. رابعہ جان کلاس آئیں گے.
السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. اعوذ باللہ من الرحمن الرحیم. ألم تر كيف فعل ربك بأصحاب الفيل ألم يجعل كيدهم في تضليل وأرسل عليهم طيرا أبابيل ترميهم بحجارة من سجيل.
ہوگی رب کی بڑی عنایت, پھر اس کے بعد ہوگی رب کی بڑی عنایت. آغاز میں اگر وہ قرآن کی تلاوت کیا کریں گے. وہ نبیوں میں رحمت لقب پانے والا, وہ نبیوں میں رحمت لقب پانے والا, مرادیں غریبوں کی بر لانے والا, مصیبت میں غیروں کی کام آنے والا, وہ اپنے برائی کا غم کھانے والا, فقیروں کا ملجا, ضعیفوں کا ماوا, یتیموں کا والی, غلاموں کا مولا. میں اس کے بعد ملتمس ہوں ایک اور ہونہار بیٹی سے جن کا نام ہے مقدر سجاد. یہ بھی 11ویں جماعت کی طالبہ ہے کہ وہ نعت مقبول صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم یہاں پہ پیش کرنے کی سعادت حاصل کریں.
اعوذ باللہ من الشیطان الرجیم. بسم اللہ الرحمن الرحیم. السلام علیکم ورحمۃ اللہ وبرکاتہ. وعلیکم السلام. وہ اعلیٰ تھا, وہ اعلیٰ ہے, نرالا تھا, نرالا ہے. وہ اعلیٰ تھا, وہ اعلیٰ ہے, نرالا تھا, نرالا ہے. کوئی میرے نبی جیسا نہ پہلے تھا نہ آیا ہے. وہ اعلیٰ تھا, وہ اعلیٰ ہے, نرالا تھا, نرالا ہے. نبی کی کل
وہ اعلیٰ تھا, وہ اعلیٰ ہے, نرالا تھا, نرالا ہے. وہ اعلیٰ تھا, وہ اعلیٰ ہے, نرالا تھا, نرالا ہے. کوئی میرے نبی جیسا نہ کوئی تھا نہ آیا ہے. مقدس سجاد آپ کے سامنے اپنی رسیلی آواز میں نعت بحضور رسول کائنات صلی اللہ علیہ وسلم پیش کر رہی تھی. اب میں رسمی طور ڈاکٹر گوسیا مہراج سے آپ سب مہمان گرامی کا, ادارہ حاضہ کے اسٹاف ممبران کا, طالبات کا استقبال کرنے کی ان سے معجبانہ گزارش کروں گا. اس شعر کے ساتھ کہ مرحبا سعادت ہماری اور بڑے احسان ہے, مرحبا سعادت ہماری اور بڑے احسان ہے. آج کی اس بزم میں جو آپ سے مہمان ہیں, آپ باج صبح کی مانند یہاں پہ چھا گئے, بینی بینی خوشبو سے اطراف کو مہکا گئے. ڈاکٹر گوسیا مہراج.
Sopor, guests, colleagues and dear students, Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning. On behalf of our worthy principal, Parvez Ahmad Zargar, and staff at Girls High Secondary School, Sopor, it's my great pleasure to welcome you all. We extend a heartfelt and a cordial welcome to Advocate Imran Farooq, Advocate Iram Farooq, Advocate Umar Bashir, Dr. Nusrat Hafiz, Dr. Farooq, other dignitaries and guests from the Department of Law, staff and their students. Women, who constitute half of the human population, have been discriminated, harassed, exploited. Irrespective of the country which they belong, unmindful of the religion which they profess, oblivious of the time in which they live, we have more than half of the human population that is biased. We have a violated gender. And worst form of this violence is where a woman is derived of the basic and the most fundamental right, that is the right to life, and that too even before she is born. A poetess, Zehra Nigah, recites it as, "मैं बच गई माँ, मैं बच गई, मैं बच गई माँ, मैं बच गई, तेरे कच्चे लहू की मेहंदी मेरी कोर कोर में रच गई माँ, मेरी आंखें रोशन हो जाती, तेजाब का सुरमा लग जाता, तेरी लोरी सुनने से पहले मैं गहरी नींद में सो गई माँ, अनजान नगर से आई थी, अनजान नगर में खो गई माँ, तेरे कच्चे लहू की मेहंदी मेरे कोर कोर में रच गई." फीटिसाइड की नजर हो गई और किसी को पता भी नहीं चला। क्या ये सोफिस्टिकेटेड मर्डर नहीं है? Certainly yes, it is a very very sophisticated murder. Honestly, as a girl, as a woman, I don't concede with the idea of gender equality. मैं नहीं मानती कि genders are equal, and I admit that we are we are an emotionally weak gender. हम emotionally weak gender है. And honestly, I'm not anti-patriarchy. Reading and teaching science, for years, मैंने realize किया है that human is not the only species जहाँ patriarchy है. Most of the mammals other than you have these African and Asian elephants, they have a matriarchal society, जहाँ पे women is the controller of their society. But I have not read about any animal other than Ashraful Makhluqat killing a person only on the basis of gender. होता है ऐसा, but that is an accidental death. But consciously हमारे सिवा, अशरफुल मखलूकात के सिवा कोई भी ऐसा स्पीशीज नहीं है जो on the basis of gender a particular set of individuals को kill करता है. I may be sounding like a moral science teacher, but in this room filled with legal, medical and educational intellectuals, this is all I can offer. Days are not far. We will not have brides available to marry our sons and maintain a lineage. But is hammam mein hum sab nange hain. Blame is not only on the parents who choose to abort a girl child, not only on the medical professional who aided them to detect the gender and safely terminate the pregnancy. Not Miss Nikhat Nazir Sahiba, on behalf of my senior colleagues, Sabia ma'am, Nilofer ma'am, seated in this auditorium, I welcome you all with full heart, with full warmth, and we hand over the stage to you to carry out the proceedings of this program. Thank you.
Shazia Shaukat, female feticide. What is female feticide? ये मौजू क्या है? ये अपने ज़ेरी ख्यालात का इजहार इस मौजू के हवाले से करना चाहेंगी. मैं उन्हें यहाँ पे आने की दावत दे रहा हूँ कि वो अपने ख्यालात का इजहार फरमाएंगी. शाजिया शौकत.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. This is Shazia as the student of Standard 12 from Guantanamo Girls High Secondary School, Sopor. Today I am here with emotions of gratitude to talk about a very overriding issue, that is female feticide. Low-key, I mean to some extent we all know what it means or how adverse it is or how bad it is. But as a kid, the idea of abortion made me feel so sad. It was just basically a stop towards an unknown thing. And the realization that misbirth is something that we can normally talk about. In India, women are discriminated against even before they are born. Even 100,000 girls are killed in the womb, and from there onwards, it's an uphill struggle for girls. Over 1 million of children below the age of 5 are lost each year, of which 300,000 die on the first day of life itself. And the worst is, a majority of them are girls. As a girl myself, I feel very sad. I feel really very sad to accept this. But if today I am standing here, I overdid. Even we all overdid. Debt of what? The girl child who are not as fortunate to see this beautiful world. We stand out like we're standing at a very, very worst era. That is basically the important time era, where we can say the time when a crucial difference can be made. If we can talk about Islam, like Islamic point of view is, before the advent of Islam, female infanticide was prevalent in Arabia. However, with the revelation of the Quran during the time of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, this practice was strictly forbidden. Female infanticide became as serious as a elder's murder. Though Islam prohibits neonatal sex identification based on gender. This killing of females very often, but being the part of this society, it's our prime duty to raise awareness, to raise all the things about sinful crime, and should say no to female feticide. We have to say no to female feticide, and this misbirth is a terrible blow to life. Here ends. Have a great day ahead. Thank you for listening.
चूँकि हमारे पास जो स्टूडेंट स्पीकर्स हैं वो 2 हैं, 1-2 के बाद हम उनको भी दावत देंगे. फिलहाल मैं फारूक, आई वुड लाइक टू कॉल विकेट एडुकेटर फारूक share his idea regarding this burning issue, burning topic. Advocate Farooq, most welcome.
Respected and esteemed members and dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Today we have the water of the laws related to this, to curb this menace. The first abortion related law in India was Medical Termination of Pregnancy Act of 1971, was passed making abortion legal in most states, such as medical case to mother and rape. But due to its misuse, it was eradicated, and in the anticipation, female feticide based on technology advances and others, and so it was anticipated with the other law that was passed by the government of India, Prenatal Diagnosis.
Preconception and Prenatal Diagnostic Techniques Act PCPNDT in 1994 to ban and punish prenatal sex screening and female feticide. It is currently illegal to determine or disclose sex of the fetus to anyone, however, concerns raised for poor performance of the Dr. Sahiban Bakuda Bana.